What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Donlorivibes, and today we are going to talk about how to remove negative thoughts from your mind. If it's a little windy, I apologize. I love recording my videos outside, so that's why we are here today. So I just want to jump right into it. I don't want to hold you guys, but I want to start off saying that this is something that is a struggle for everyone. Obviously, as human beings, we all have what we would consider negative and positive thoughts. So if you are someone that is struggling with this, you're not alone. I mean, we all do. And I know that there was a specific time in my life where it was worse than others, and I had to find ways to cope. I had to find ways to remove that negative energy and negative thoughts from my mind. And so these were ways that I came up with myself. I didn't learn it from anybody. I kind of just broke it down and just had to find out what worked for me. So I'm going to share my tactics with you guys in hopes that somebody can take something away from it as well. So let's get into it. All right, guys. So first things first, okay? I found that there are two ways that you can help remove negative thoughts from your mind, okay? The first way is to acknowledge them. The second way is to not acknowledge them. So I know you may be a little confused. You're like, what is she talking about? Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm going to break it down for you into little itty bitty pieces so that you can understand where I'm coming from. Okay? So let's kind of classify or categorize these negative thoughts, right? So let's say that you have a negative thought that is reoccurring. Okay? Like this is the same thought, and it creeps up in the back of your mind, and then it's boom, it's right there in the surface, and you can't get rid of it. And it's the same thought. It's not like little random nothingness. It's like it's kind of impactful. There's a meaning to it, right? Maybe there's a feeling attached to this thought. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's sadness. Maybe it's anxiety. For an example, right? If someone keeps thinking about drowning or just thinking about somebody drowning, right? And it's just a reoccurring thought. It keeps playing over and over again in their head, right? So like I said, there's two ways that you can get rid of negative thoughts. One way is to acknowledge them. The second way is to not acknowledge them. In my opinion, and from my experience, when I have a reoccurring negative thought, it's a little deeper than just a negative thought. Like there's a reason and there's a meaning behind this thought, right? And so we kind of want to acknowledge that to find out the root. Use the example of like someone imagining themselves drowning, or maybe just imagining somebody else just having a fear of like being around that, right? And so if they were to sit back and really, like the thought comes into your head. So now we're going to pause. We're not going to judge it. We're not going to condemn it. We're not going to get angry. We're going to sit and we're going to look at this thought. So why am I thinking this? Why am I thinking this, right? And a way to get to that answer is, number one, see the feeling that's attached to that thought. So is it fear? Is it sadness? Is it like hypertension? Is it anxiety? What is the feeling that's attached to it? That can help you. So if it's fear, right? A fear of someone drowning, right? And then you think back and you say, like, why do I keep thinking about this? Oh, that's because I saw this movie, or I read this book, or I actually experienced that myself, or experienced that through someone else. And I know that when people don't know how to swim, that it's a higher probability that they're going to drown. And guess what? I don't know how to swim, right? So boom, we got to the root of the problem. So now, once you find the root of the problem, however it is that you get there, it doesn't matter. But if you're having a reoccurring negative thought, there probably is a message or a reasoning to it. And so you want to sit back You want to be still, you want to think about it, and you want to find out, where is this really coming from? Where is this stemming from? Because it's coming from somewhere in your subconscious, and maybe you've been ignoring it and ignoring it and ignoring it, and it's not working. So now you need to acknowledge it and say, okay, you're here. I see you. Hi. So let me find out why you're here. Like, why do you keep coming to the forefront of my mind? So back to my example, right? If it's the whole drowning situation and it's like, okay, yeah, I guess I've been through it, or I've seen somebody go through it, and it just keeps playing and over and over and over again in my head. And I think the reason why is because I don't know how to swim, right? So now, once you find the root, you can start to find the solution to your problem. So if you're having this negative thought over and over again, and it's a fear and it's a worry and you're scared and you're afraid, and it's because you don't know how to swim, now you can sign up with a professional and get swimming lessons. And that's the first step to confronting your fear and your negative thought, strong forward. Now you can get swimming lessons. And then once you get swimming lessons, that thought is going to go away, because you're going to start to feel comfortable. You're going to start to feel like you are in control. Us humans, we have this thing where, like, if we don't fully understand something or fully know, then we have a fear of it because we don't know. So it makes sense for someone to be afraid to drown and they don't know how to swim. These are the steps, okay? If you acknowledge the problem, find the root, the reason behind this forthcoming problem, and then you find a solution. Those are your steps. And that is something that helped me personally get over my fear of death, my fear of abandonment. Just with things that I've been through in my life, it would just keep popping up. Like, what if this happens? What if that happens? And it would be around the same topic, which was death. And I had a fear of it because growing up at a young age, I experienced it more than usual. So I had to really sit back and not judge myself and not sit in the fear, but really say, like, why are these thoughts continuously coming to me? It means something. Why does this mean something to me? What is the root of it? Oh, okay. So now I know why I feel like this. So what can I do to change that? What can I do to make it better? Okay? Also, I do want to say that these solutions that I'm giving you guys, it's always a work in progress. There is no quick answer. There is no easy answer. And completely removing negative thoughts from your mind is never going to happen. We are human beings, and there is something called balance, called yin and yang, and we ourselves judge the thought and classify the thought as negative or as positive, right? But when you put yourself in a back seat where you're not necessarily judging the thought, you're just experiencing the thought, or, just looking at it for what it is. Does it serve me? Does it not serve me? These are the questions you need to ask yourself. So that first solution, I would say that's for like a deeper, something just keeps coming up. It's haunting you. It's in your nightmares. It's when you're blank staring, daydreaming. It just keeps popping up. That is something that helped me that was a process that helped me get through that. So the second part for me was not acknowledging it. So like I said, we are human beings. This is something that's natural. It drives all of us crazy, especially those who really live in their mind, you know what I mean? And it's something that we battle with every day. I would have these like fleeting negative thoughts that didn't serve me. Let's just say, I have a perfect example. I'm a mother of 3, okay? And when you just have a baby, like, and your baby is newborn, right? OMG, the thoughts that run through your head, it's like anything that could go wrong, You have thought it, because you are now responsible for this little being and any possible scenario that could have gone wrong. As a mom, I know I did. I don't know if anybody else is out there like that. If you are, let me know in the comments. But I know for me, every scenario, that anything that could have happened, I thought it, and it would drive me crazy. And so it wasn't anything specific. There wasn't an actual fear. It was just kind of like just being responsible for somebody else. And that's so little itty bitty that, you know, can't defend for themselves or anything. I mean, everything is on you. It was all these little fleeting thoughts. I used to even have like impulsive thoughts. Like if I was driving in the car, I'd be like, in my head, right? And please don't judge me. And please don't judge me. But I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I'm just going to be open and transparent and share with you guys, because if I can't be truly honest with you, then I can't really help you, because I can't really give you my solutions and how I worked out through it, right? But I would have impulsive thoughts. I would never act on them, but I could feel it. I'd be in the car and I'd be like, man, I just throw my phone right out this window for no reason. No reason at all. I wouldn't have to be mad at somebody. It wouldn't have to be something that's going on. I just would feel like that impulse. And I would have to calm my mind and quiet my mind. And this is what I do to get rid of fleeting negative thoughts. When it comes in my head and I see it, I crumple it up like a piece of paper. Crumple it up. Mentally in my head. And then, Kobe it. I throw that thing in the trash. In a mental trash can. Just crumple it up, throw it away. And then I'm done. I move on to the next positive thought. I move on to something else that I want, that I choose to think about. That's my process. That's it. That's it. It's not a big deal, but it works for me. When those little impulses or those little negative thoughts that aren't, you know what I'm saying, deep, it's just like crap, I just mentally throw it in the trash. Another thing is two things. I mean, it seems like everything is an oxymoron. Like, acknowledge it or don't acknowledge it. And then now what I'm about to say is sit in stillness, but also keep yourself busy. Some things work for others and some things don't. So I'm giving you options here. But sometimes sitting in your stillness, when you realize like, oh, you're having all of these uncontrollable thoughts, you sit down, you quiet the mind, and you just don't think of anything for a minute or two. Sorry, it's a plane going on above. So, be still. You sit in your stillness. You quiet the mind by focusing on your breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And you just focus on your breath. And that will take away whatever it is that you're thinking about. Or, if that doesn't work for you, then you can do something to keep you busy. Start to work on another craft. It's like every noise in the world is just going on right now. Motorcycles, airplanes. It's a lot going on. But do something to keep yourself busy. Clean up. That's something that I do, especially when I'm angry. I just have to clean up. Everything just needs to be nice and clean around me. And it helps me channel my energy into something that's going to better me instead of wallowing and getting swallowed by my thoughts. So, like I said, keep yourself busy. Do the dishes. Do your laundry. Play with your kids if you have kids. And just do something positive that's going to push you where you're trying to go in your life. And you focus on that, and it's going to be a lot easier to keep pushing. So like I said, this is something that it took me a while to land. It took me a while to get to these understandings, but it worked for me. So I'm hoping that it will work for some of you. Quiet your mind, find peace, and live a happy life without being worried or in fear or have anxiety about things that are outside of your control. All right? So, you guys have a good one. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Namaste. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.